As I was teaching you equation of trust from yesterday, I have not finished whole lesson yesterday, so I am going to continue it today. And before continuing it, I want to tell you what we have, or remind you what we have studied yesterday. So yesterday we studied about a story, and the story was about one of the thief, and it was written by Victor Cunning. And this story is a very beautiful story that we are going to continue it today. Here we have seen one thief or one person who is very well-known person whose name is Horace Denby. He is a good citizen and he is honored by everyone, and he is of 50 years of age, unmarried, and he has a housekeeper who looks after him at home, and his profession was a lockmaker. He had two helpers in his profession. Whatever he earned in the profession, he is as a businessman, I must say lockmaker. It is a service also, or a business, his business, and from that business whatever he earns, that is enough for him to keep two helpers. But it is said that Horace Denby is an honest person, but he is not completely honest. Why it is said that he is not completely honest? Because Horace Denby had a hobby, the hobby of collecting. It is in the first, in the beginning, it is given. What does Horace Denby like to collect? That question, I didn't give you the answer. The answer is that Horace Denby likes to collect rare and expensive books. So you can write the answer. So Horace Denby, he has a hobby of collecting rare and expensive books. Not any ordinary book, rare and expensive books. For this, what he does, every year very carefully he select a house to rub a safe. Safe means what? It is a what you say in Assamese, we must say sanduk. Sanduk, that is, nowadays people don't keep money in the home, but in before people keep money in the home in the safe. I think you have seen in some movies or somewhere, the safe is like a, it is made up of iron, and there is some sort of what you say, there are some numbers, and with that numbers they can open the safe and get the money. So, and they keep all their luxury things like ornaments, money in that safe. So Horace Denby very carefully he choose a house every year to rob a safe. Here Horace Denby never choose any house that is from a poor or any ordinary house. He always look for the house that is from a very well-known person, or the person is very rich. So this year, that particular year, he chose a house in Sort over Grace. That one was a house of a very rich person who was not there at that time when Horace Denby went to rob. And Horace Denby planned so nicely, he know every and each thing regarding the house. And this is here is a question, how Horace Denby come to know regarding the house so nicely? Because you just see, as I said, Horace Denby, he has a hobby of reading, and he read and collect expensive rare books. So in that manner, he also go through some magazines, and when he went through the magazines, he saw that there is a house of a very rich person, and there every detail is given. You see, Some people, the houses of the rich people, they in the magazine they gives the this one, what you say, every details, from where to enter, where is their drawing room, where is their bedroom, or it is something, I must say, that person is a fool also. I must say that the person, the house of the sort over grace, he is a fool also. Why I must say he is a fool? Because he also he also mentioned in the story that there is a safe just behind a oil painting. There is a painting in the drawing room, and in that drawing room there is a safe in the behind the oil painting. Suppose if you remove the painting, you will see the safe. That one was the big mistake of that person. And these all things were collected, informations were collected by Horace Denby. And Horace Denby was a nice person, well settled, but he had one trouble, that is the trouble of hay fever. He suffered from hay fever. If you want to know what is hay fever, it is an allergy. You have seen most of the people, what they do, they suffer from hay fever, like allergy. Like if they get the smell of some flowers, if some flower pollen grains enters inside their nose, they feel like sneezing or like cold. Those are the things what is said hay fever. So as that day was, it was the month of July, bright sunshine, and he came to know that the servants of that house, Stopper Gray's house, they are going to see the movie, and the family and the owner of the house is not there at that time. They went to London. So he thought that it will be a very nice time for him to steal a safe. So what he did, by collecting all the information, he came to know that they are going for the servants are going for going to see a movie, and he will get enough time of 4 hours. And he also knew where the key of the house is hanged. It is hanged just near the this one, what you say, kitchen. So very carefully Horace Denby entered the room, then entered the house campus through the garden. He opened his tools, he put his gloves, then he took the key, because he don't want to keep any of his and this one fingerprints or anything that he was the one who has steal the safe. So he very carefully he opened a door and he entered a room, that is the drawing room. As he entered the drawing room, it was not in his knowledge that in the drawing room, in the table, there is a flower pot. And there is a question: what hindrance Horace Denby faced as he entered a sort of grace? Understand? So what was his hindrance? It was that he was affected by the hay fever. That hay fever means there was flower, and from the smell and the pollen grains of the flower, he started feeling his nose started tickling. Understand? Then he suddenly sneezed first. It was not very loudly, little sneeze. Then after that, the flowers give him more trouble. Then he sneezed very loudly. As soon as he sneezed very loudly, he heard a very nice voice from the door side. There was a lady who asked him, "Is it hay fever or a cold?" And without minding anything else, Horace Denby immediately gave the answer, "No, it's hay fever." Then the lady said, "Why don't you see, why don't you, why you are not careful? Why don't you see that which flower or which plant is affecting you? Why don't you take care of it? Or why don't you go to the doctor? At the time, Horace Denby was little bit shocked. Then he looked to the door. Then he saw a lady, a young lady with very beautiful red dress standing near the door, and Sari just rubbing his back on her. Horace Denby was afraid of it. He thought that now he will be caught by the police. But the woman moved near him and she said, "We are returning today after a month. We were in London, but I didn't thought that as soon as I enter the home, I will see a burglar out here." So at this, Horace Denby became very excited and he became very, he feared. He thought that what I will do. Understood? He thought that what I will do. So what he did, he just and that woman, she was so familiar. She looked like the housekeeper. She was so familiar. She walked forward. Then she just settled some things on the table, or on table or near the fireplace. She just adjust the thing out there. Okay. Then Horace first he thought that it is better that I must run. But the lady said, "I will not allow you to go. If I'm going to call the police." Then he said that, "Please don't call the police. Don't hand over me to the police, because this is not my profession. I did it only for a particular thing. So please don't hand over me to the police." So she said, "No, I'm not going to leave you like this. You are going to spoil the society. If I leave these people like this, then these people may spoil the society. So I'm, as a responsible citizen, I want to hand over you to the police." Then Horace Denby said, "Please don't do this thing. I promise you, in my future, I'm not going to do such thing." Then she said, "Okay, I will leave you in one way. That is, before going to the London, I was supposed to keep my jewelry in the bank. But I didn't. My husband asked me to keep there, but I didn't keep it there, because I know here is a party, I need the jewelry and I want to wear the jewelry. For that jewelry, I came today, and there is a problem here. Now a problem arose here." Then Horace Denby immediately said, "Is it that you forgot the numbers to adjust?" Then she said, "Yeah, exactly that one." So he said, "Don't worry, I will do it for you." And Horace Denby thought that, yes, now at least I will be safe and she will not hand over me to the police. In that excitement, he was very happy in that words. And the lady, what she did, she just picked up the silver box which was on the table and took a cigarette from there. As a very familiar, as a owner of the house, she took the cigarette. And Horace Denby was so excited, he forgot that what he is doing. He just opened his glove and he took his lighter and lit it to the lady to burn the cigarette. So she burned a cigarette and she asked him to open the safe. So he said that, "I'm going to open the safe, but the one thing, there will be a problem. I have to break the lock." She said, "Okay, you break the lock. My husband will come after 1 month, and so that in the meantime I will be able to mend the lock, and he was angry because Horace Denby saw the woman was so familiar, and there was no confusion for him that she must be the owner of the house. So he opened the safe, he gave all the jewelries to the lady, and he felt, but he forgot to put the gloves, and he felt very happy, and he came back to his home. And 2 days he was very happy. He thought that okay, I have got some relaxation, I am safe, because the woman didn't give me to the police. But suddenly, first day, second day over, the third day morning, Horace was again thinking, because he is a very he had his hobby to collect the rare books and expensive books. He was just planning to rob another safe, and he was planning for that one, and suddenly the police entered his house at the noon time, and arrested him for robbing in the house of sort over gaze. Then he said, "It was not done by me. It was the owner of the home. The lady of the home asked me to open the safe, so I opened it for her. But there was no proof. As he opened the safe without putting the hand gloves, all the fingerprints were there, and the fingerprints matched with it. So he was suspected to be the thief of sort over grace." And meantime, as he was saying that, "I didn't open by myself, it was the lady of the home, she asked me to open." So at that time, the lady of the house, who was 60 years of age, with grey hairs, with sharp tongue, she said, "Is it me? Is it me? Is I asked you to open that safe? What nonsense story you are telling to us?" Then at that time, Horace was shocked to see a old lady, to see a old lady in front of him. So Horace was very upset to know that that particular lady was also in that profession as he was. Understood? So Horace is now the assistant librarian in the prison. But he often think of that charming, clever lady who was in the same profession as he was, and who tickled him. Okay? Who tricked him. He gets very angry when anyone talks about honor among thieves. Understand? So it's a very beautiful story, my dear students. If you need the questions and answer, you can ask me, and you can send me the messages, and share this, like this video, share it, and try to learn what I have taught you. And this is a very beautiful story, and try to write what I have explained to you. Try to write what is the about Horace Denby, and about the robbery, and about who is the real culprit of the story. Now can you tell me who is the real culprit of the story? According to me, real culprit, both of them are the culprit, but real culprit is the lady with red dress, the beautiful one. Thank you, my dear student. The next, we will learn the next lesson in the next term. Not next term, in the next video. Thank you.